Well, the great rock festival is now history.
The sponsors said it was going to be 3 days of peace and music. It was that all right, and much more.
Woodstock happened 50 years ago, and today we remember the festival for its hippie vibes, its musical legacies, and its massive audience of 400,000 people. It was, at its base, a rock festival, but at its core, it was a culmination of nearly everything that happened that decade: anti-war movements, civil rights demonstrations, and even the moon landing.
We don't look at Woodstock as a 3-day event full of music, and we look at it as what transpired in the decade and what created that particular happening. And so when you start looking at the decade and you look at the young people and what was going on, it's very clear that it was a decade of change. It was a decade full of creativity. It was a decade of dialogue. It was a decade of protest. It was a decade of activism, and movements were created as a result of it.
Darlene Fadoun is the CEO of the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts, the site of the original 1969 Woodstock Festival and a major organizer of some of this year's 50th anniversary events.
And I think that's what's most important, is that folks are looking at this as a year-long celebration rather than just 3-day celebration.
Bethel Woods' 60s-focused series, dubbed Vibrations, runs the gamut from Woodstock documentary screenings and panel discussions to art workshops and concerts. The events go beyond the 1969 music festival, but directly connect to the decade's legacies of activism and human achievement.
Just for me, because I'm a classical musician now, but I started as a rock and pop guy. And so, to go back to be even close to where Woodstock happened is already a sort of spiritual experience for me.
Eric Whitaker is a composer and self-proclaimed space nerd. His film and composition, Deep Field, which celebrates the Hubble Space Telescope's discovery of the Deep Field image, is part of Bethel Woods' Vibration series.
Ultimately, what I ended up telling in the story is not just the expansiveness of it, but the human story, the human drama of dreaming of something, struggling, failing, and then overcoming that failure. I felt like, in terms of science and music, they're almost the same discipline. They speak to the best of who we are, I believe. That when people come together and are part of something larger than themselves, they can make extraordinary things happen.